All right, I'm a little late here. I just went to working, but got the coolant lines off the old turbo to put on the new turbo. I know they don't look clean, but they are. Clean them up pretty good. Gotta pull this. Not really sure what this is. Sensor out and put it in the new Y bridge. Got the gaskets in this morning. That's why we are on a delay from yesterday. But I've got these just holding in with some RTV for right now. So when we're fighting it in, that RTV will hold it in. So that's our new Y bridge. Pretty happy with it for the price comparison. It was 178 bucks for the Y bridge and the EGR delete versus most companies want about 700. So I would have loved to went with Whirly Custom Fab or somebody HSP or something like that, but you know, this is a budget build, and the difference between 178 and 900 is a big difference.
Well,
so
far hasn't been a problem. But the other piece,
cleaning RV bands, what's about to be?
the other piece was a doozy.
Yes. Yes, we did spend. So I charged my Dremel 3 times yesterday to get. It's raining right now. That's why I work on the porch. But I charged my Dremel 3 times yesterday to get that intercooler pipe in to go over the new intercooler. I don't know if the paint was just thicker. I don't know. It would slide up, but about that much, and that's all it needed. So I just Dremeled the internals of the intercooler pipe in, and we popped it on there. And then, you know, you got those little clip rings that go in there.
Here's the unshaved one.
So this is the unshaved one, yeah. And I mean, obviously it was on my OE intercooler, no problem. But I had to Dremel all this wall out, and then a little bit of this hump here I had to Dremel out, and then we got it in there. But my problem was I have a battery Dremel, kept dying, took forever, wasn't real strong, so it wasn't eating a lot of metal very quick. Anyway, it's been a process. So I did not track our hours yesterday. I will do our hour count and see where we're at. We were at 13 and a half hours before yesterday. So yesterday we got the whole front clip back on, intercooler, radiator in. I got the these coolant necks I've already got hooked up inside the truck. That way once we get the turbo in, we just have to slide them on here. Just did a bunch of little tedious stuff. We did some cleaning. We got the remote oil line hooked up to the side of the motor now instead of out of the valley. We just kind of piddled yesterday because we didn't have a whole lot to do because we were waiting on the Y bridge, and the Y bridge showed up and we didn't have a gasket. So yeah, now it's raining. So we're just doing what we can to get stuff done. But I'm gonna get this pulled out and get it stuck in the new Y bridge and cleaned up, and get all this little tedious stuff stuck on the new turbo. That way when we drop it in, it's just ready to drop in. And then I'll check back in. Rain's supposed to be over in about 2 hours, so we'll be out there. Welcome to our tent. We got the space heater going under the hood. It's about 34 and still drizzling. But guess what? We're still getting her done, boys. So here we are, farting around. We got all our coolant stuff moved over to the turbo. We got our Y bridge in. That was fun. Daniel is hooking back up fuel lines. That is between the Y bridge that we had to take loose. And then we will start dropping that beautiful turbo in. Like I said, all the coolant lines and oil feed lines are hooked up to it. We're just plugging away, getting done right now. Trying to get done what we can get done in this nasty weather. It's freezing out here. But anyway, I just want to throw a little check in at our Y bridge in. That was quite the deal, but it got rid of this disgusting one. It's a bolt-in style from Speed Tuning Labs as well. So didn't have to use any of that old gunky. All this is going to be disposed of. As of right now, we are waiting on Powerhouse Diesel to send us over our EFI Live to get away from the edge tuning and go with EFI Live. And they're supposed to be sending my tunes as well. So hopefully by the end of the day we'll have the information on that. Fuel pump is on the way from Fas. So that'll be here by Thursday. The last couple will be here by Thursday. By next Monday, we should be done with this, boys. So I'll check back in as soon as we get that big old turbo going in. All right, boys, moment of truth. Put my gasket on back there. Y bridge is in, solid. Our AC moved out the way. Got our flashlight set up down there. Got our flashlights here. Make sure we're lit up. We got our heater on. In our tent. Let me show y'all this little rundown real quick of how I did my turbo. And then I'll come set y'all up so y'all can see this installation here. And big nub. Big nub. Get that shark. Get that shark, boy. Get that shark. Alright, I got it all wrapped up, boys. 3 bags on her. Bunch of electrical tape, that way we don't destroy that powder coating. Backside can get a little bumped, but got the front side covered. When our gas got there, she about to go in. We got this tight. We got a coolant line on here. My other coolant line is under the bag. Other coolant line is on. Yeah, I'm about to take y'all out here, set y'all up under the hood, and then we're coming out with that turbo. This should go pretty smooth. I think we actually have more room under there now because we pulled that top coolant hose off and we pulled the Y bridge off. And I don't know, it just seems like I'm back. Alright, now. Woo. As soon as I started fighting the turbo in here, y'all, the camera just turned around. So y'all had a nice sound scene. Whew. Now, for the second unveiling of the turbo. There was the in-house unveiling and the under the hood unveiling. Just make sure you're not pulling that coolant line. Pull it out here. Some say unnecessary. I say very necessary. Knocked it out the park, boys. I don't know how good this feels. We went from a down bad Duramax to a whew, much better. I wrapped it too much, bro. Look at this. Look at this. That's cherry in the hood, boys. Good gracious. Yes, sir. Y bridge. Tight. Sealed up. Turbo. In there. Now, for about another 12 hours worth of work, we'll be done. Alright, boys, sorry for the camera malfunctions. I've got a tripod. It's just hard to set a tripod up on stuff that's not level and that I'm kicking. So anyway, there's our remote feed line, which is now coming from the side of the block instead of the valley pan. Yeah, we might need to angle that a little bit different, but yeah, we'll have to reroute that, but yeah,
I think it's supposed to come up from the front here. Move it back.
Yeah, we'll figure that part out. That's our remote oil line that I was telling y'all about. So no more in the valley around with that hard line. This comes from the side of the block up. Dan's Diesel said they recommended it. I went with it.
We didn't have to fight around the feed.
Yeah, and there was no feed to move out the way while we were dropping this turbo in. You got it capped off under there, boom. You just hook up your line, you're good to go. So, anyway, here we are. I'll check back in. We're about to start dropping some studs in here. Alright, so coolant pipe mounted, bolted in, turbo bolted in, got our glow plug heater bridge plugged in, got most of our wires plugged in now. We've got our new bang sensor plugged in. We got a lot done. We got, did you get that coolant line on? No. Still fighting that coolant line. Still fighting the small coolant line down here. But we got this one plugged or hooked up. It just said it just raining on us, so we're gonna take a little stopping point here and get back to it in a little while. But good progress, especially for a rainy day. All the stuff swapped over to the turbo's in, all our coolant pipes hooked back up. It's been a process, but every time we get started it just starts raining more and more. So anyway, I'm gonna call it here for now and check back in when we getting back to the boogie. But the parts couch is looking less. Not too much to go. Still a lot of work. So we're gonna get it done. What is this, day 5 or day 6? 5. Day 5. We got the up pipe going on. We had to, already had this on. We had to loosen it because one of our turbo bolts felt like it was going in sideways, so we loosened that up to be able to get a better angle. We've got our driver's side exhaust bolted back up over there. We've got all 3 bolts on the top side over there. Up pipe's gonna be next as soon as we finish these 2. And then once we get those exhausts on, it is just buttoning everything up. So we've got like small stuff to do, like the EGR pipe. That's literally 5 minutes of work. Put our intake and stuff back on, put our belt back on, fan shroud, little stuff like that. But we've literally got 6 exhaust bolts and 2 V-bands to go, and we will be almost fully back together. And then once we get the intake and everything on, all we're waiting on is fuel system. And so I have an edge tuner in here. You can see the wire there, and it's got a DSP5 switch in it already. I called them and told them what I was doing. They said they do not support deleted tunes, fully deleted tunes. So I called another company, Powerhouse Diesel out of Tennessee. Powerhouse Diesel told me, yeah, we got you. They said we're going to use an EasyLink plug-in system. I sent them over all my information, and we are ordering that in about 5 minutes when they send me an invoice. So we're going to have tunes from Powerhouse Diesel for this thing. Probably, hopefully all that will arrive by like Saturday or so. And our last coupler will be here tomorrow. So we're out here in the rain again, getting her done. That way all this is finished by the time we get our tunes in. Hopefully all that comes in pretty quick. Fuel system should be here tomorrow as well. Don't particularly need the fuel system. I think it's just going to save my injectors in the long run. So fuel pump can wait, really. But anyway, we're going to finish buttoning this up. As soon as I get it all tied in and everything, I'll check back in. Oh, buddy. Here. I feel rough. We had it on. Had to take it back off. So let me see if I can get this on camera here. Hang on. Let me get a light up in here. Where's my light at? I'm gonna drop my light, put it somewhere, and I don't know where I'll put it. So hang on. My light's over here. Me and Duke's out here. Diggy D is going to pick up Project Save a Prelude. It's ready to go. It should be on the road. But I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see this or not. I put some cleaner in here just to try to clean out them holes while I was waiting, but alright, so that flange up there, without the bolt in it. We had all bolts in, all exhaust bolts in, except for one. And we could not get it tight with the passenger side on. So, like I just showed you, we pulled the passenger side back off. I did. And I have hand threaded this bolt. So, exhaust bolt, I can hand thread it like all the way up to there. No problem. Okay? Then I get to cranking on it and it gets to about right there. Probably about right there. And it's tight. But you see the threads are not messed up. I've PB blasted inside the hole. I've shot a bunch of cleaner up in there trying to clean out the hole. Guys, this is one of those like unforeseen problems. Guys and gals, I'm always saying guys. Maybe I got some different audience out here or something. Probably mostly guys. This is just one of those unforeseen problems. I woke up with a headache this morning. It's still raining. We still have our TP set up. It's miserable right now. I'm fighting this bolt, but not gonna cry about it no longer. I just wanted to let y'all, give y'all kind of a, you know, most of these YouTube videos are like, yeah, just slap the pipe on real quick, man. You know, it's so simple. It's not that bad. You gotta lean over the hood. You gotta dig down in there. Most of them you have to go from the top. Some of them you can go from the side. Same thing with the driver's side. But that one bolt, man, and then you run into something like this. You don't want to just wrench on it. You can't even wrench on it. All you can get is a open end. That's all you can get in there. That's it. Because you got a trans bracket and an oil stick bracket. So anyway, I'm gonna let that cleaner sit up in that hole. Maybe there's some junk in there. Maybe it had some factory Loctite that's stuck in there. I don't know. But everything we got done today, we basically reversed except for 3 bolts. So anyway, that's my update for now. I'll check back in when I get some progress. Duke. Alright, y'all. Here's where we're at. Well, I don't know if y'all can see in there, but downpipe's on. Both exhaust pipes are on. Whew, I had to take this side back off to get one bolt tight in there, but it's on now. We're hooked up, booked up, ready to go. I just gotta get the V-band tight on the top side, and then this right here, when I did a new up pipe, it doesn't have the bracket that the OE one has, so I'm gonna have to get somebody to make me some type of little mount for right there. But there's 2 holes right here in the frame. Boom, boom. And I think I'm just gonna get my buddy to make me something to go right here and then hold that up, so just to get the pressure really off the turbo itself. But this was a pain just because that one bolt that I ended up fighting out, the one I was telling y'all I couldn't, like, I done pulled out and tightened and pulled out and tightened. I don't know what was up with it. I could like I showed y'all, I could hand screw it a little bit. When I started tightening it, I could tighten it a little bit and then it would get super tight. I don't know. Well, Dan's Diesel sent me washers with our exhaust bolts. I ordered like 6 extra exhaust bolts just in case any of them did break when we were pulling them out. Didn't end up breaking any of them, but I ordered 6 new ones and he sent me those washers with them. And I'm like, what are the washers for? The OE ones don't have washers on it. So, you know what we use them for? We stack them jokers up and tighten her on down, because there's about that much thread in the turbo. It's enough to grab it. We just needed it to tighten. So anyway, got washers on that one. I hope and pray that helps and doesn't come loose. We've got Loctite on it. I'm gonna get this V-band straightened up, y'all, and then I will check back in tomorrow. We'll just be buttoning up cold side boost pipe, EGR delete piping, messing with all these wires a little bit, trying to tighten them up. Bunch of piddly stuff. We've got one more coolant hose to hook up to the turbo because it kind of collapsed when we did the 90. There's a 90 in there, like it's like that, but when it in the corner it's collapsed, so we got to get a new hose. A lot of piddly stuff. We got to get that oil line hooked up. Just need to re-angle it. Bunch of small stuff we're gonna get tidied up tomorrow, so I'll probably just check in when all that's kind of done and give you all a run through, go back, retorque everything, tighten everything. And then Powerhouse Diesel has Easy Link on the way. That is what I'm going to use for tuning. Easy Link, it's just a plug-in, OBD2, goes to your phone. It'll have a bunch of tunes on it, and I'll have a lifetime of tunes. If I go add more boost, or I add more fuel, or I do the injectors in a month or two, lifetime tunes. It was $1,500 for the Easy Link and the lifetime of tunes. So they're going to send me 5 tunes, obviously, for the application I'm running now with the new turbo and everything. And then I get injectors later and I want to turn it up, boom, just say, hey, I got injectors now. They'll send me a new tune. So pretty cool. Shout out to Powerhouse Diesel. They were super helpful. A lot of places don't do these EGR deleted trucks. I called Edge and called like 3 other ones that they recommended. Everybody said, look, if it's completely deleted, you don't need us for tuning. This is new to me. The old 12 valve, you know, don't need no tuning. The old LBZ, I just plugged a bully dog in it. Didn't have no EGR to delete or nothing. You plug a bully dog and tune away. So anyway, I'll check in tomorrow when we get all these boost pipes on. We got some piping out. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what this means. If we got boost pipes out, that means we going back together. Ain't that what that means? So, like I said, we ended up using some washers on that one bolt, but it's in there. So, new up pipe, new down pipe wrapped with no heat shields anymore. I've got my trans dipstick, as you can see in there. There's 2 bolts right back there. Got that bolted back down. Got that all tightened up. I've double checked everything here. We've got our remote oil line coming from down here now instead of off the cam bearing. So remote oil line is installed. We need to fill up the radiator. Go ahead and pull that hose off real quick, fill that up. I've got the glow plug module plugged all back in, bolted all back down. Daniel's working on the last coolant line right now, getting that tidied up. I had to go to the parts store and get a new V-band. Where'd our V-band go, Diggity? Where did we put that piece of junk? Still in the house?
No, that's somewhere.
I thought we brought it.
Oh no, I sent it over there in the spare parts.
Ah, so yesterday we got the bottom of the down pipe on, and then we started to put the top on, and this V-band is just not thick enough. I don't know, I guess because the flange on this OE might be a little bit thinner. It is definitely the right V-band, clearly goes right on there, but I don't know, this would just not catch. It wouldn't catch at all. I tried and tried, pry bar, I mean, I just fought it. So anyway, I went to the parts store, 26 bucks. They had me one in 3 hours. Popped right on there. So I don't know what was up with that V-band. I don't know. Maybe even the turbo housing flange is a little bit thicker. Maybe something like that. Anyway, we're on the up and up. So as you know, I was waiting on the coupler to go from the 5-inch boot on the intercooler to the new EGR delete pipe. It's going to go from here to here. That should be here momentarily. It's supposed to be here any second. So that's one thing we're waiting on. And then the Fas Fuel System will be here today as well. We'll see if we're going to dive into that yet or not, because everybody tells me when I'm doing the tuning on this to have your fuel system unplugged. Don't know what the significance of that is. Not really sure. Like, we've been our dipstick here, but so I'm probably gonna like run all the piping and stuff like that on the fuel system, but not wired in or anything yet. That way it's not active when I'm tuning. So tuning, we've got the Easy Link on the way. Should have a custom tune in it for this truck with the new turbo and everything. Powerhouse Diesel is supposed to be supplying all that. Haven't got an email on tracking on that, but it was ordered first thing yesterday morning, so it's coming from Tennessee. It's, you know, 7 hours away. It shouldn't take long to get here. So pretty excited. We should have all this tidied up today, do all our triple, quadruple check-in. I've got an edge monitor that D had. We're gonna hook that up and just see if we're getting diagnostics and stuff on it. You know, just turn the key over and just see if we're getting power to the actual screen. If not, I need to order a screen, that way I can do diagnostics. So the EasyLink's super nice because it goes through your cell phone. Also inconvenient because it goes through your cell phone, if you ask me. Because when you're riding around the truck and cutting through town, I don't want to have my phone pulled up for all my diagnostics and stuff. I want to have something up on the dash, you know, something, just a screen or a boost gauge or something, because my phone I use for everything else. So this is the hookup for the Edge. It plugs right into the screen, so hopefully it works. If not, we've got the other hookup for it, just to see if we can get diagnostics on that. That way I don't have to have that EasyLink pulled up on my phone constantly. So EasyLink should be super simple, because normally you have to install the switch. I don't have to install the switch. I've already got a switch in here. Truck's already tuned. So anyway, I will check back in. We're gonna get the rest of these boost pipes slapped on. Get this radiator shroud and stuff. We're gonna get this radiator filled up with some water. Wowzers. Wowzers. All right, so here we are, mocked up. This is basically where it goes. Obviously we just have to tighten the clamps down to get that right. This is what we're looking at down here. So nobody shows anything about what to do down here. As far as like a coupler goes or anything. Water. So this is a 3.5, this is a 3. I'm just gonna get a coupler to meet these two and pray it stays good. I mean, it's so tight. It should be fine. It's just an odd angle. But I think that should be fine, because it's basically going straight in there. Anyway, and then we have a little spot for one of these sensors to hook up, but none of them reach, so I need to do a little bit more research on that. We chased all around town for a new gasket. It's always something on this thing. So there's a gasket inside there, and it was just piss and water when we put water in it. So we went all around town looking for a gasket. I got one ordered, but I also found a thermostat gasket, the same thickness and everything. Put it in there, it's working. So we got that in there right now. All this is tidied up. I've kind of mocked this up because it's going to be really tight coming through here with this big old intake, but it looks like it's going to work just fine. This whole cold side is mounted up to the turb ski. We got a coolant line in there, so that elbow y'all can see right there, that coolant line straight down, that is a Dorman part, so you cannot bend a hose physically. Every time you bend a hose in there, it just collapses on itself. We tried like different outside diameters and stuff until finally I just got you can buy an elbowed pipe 3/8 or get a Dorman one, but that's what you got to do to make that bend, because if you don't make that bend, then it'll just collapse in on itself. So problem after problem. By the way, I already had this coupler ordered through a company that I'm not disclosing. I had this thing already ordered, and what did they send me? They sent me a 2.5 to 3 inch instead of a 3.5 to 3 inch. Then I went to the parts store and tried this, because it's actually like a little over 3.5, but this is a 4 inch to 3 inch, so this didn't work. So that's why we're still waiting on a coupler for that. But we've got our fuel system in, but that's going to be a kind of a separate project, really. I'm not gonna put that into this project, but we do have a fuel system in. I'm gonna wait until this is finished, button tied up, we know we're good, tuned, test it, make sure we don't have any problems, and then I'll hook up the fuel system, because everybody says to unhook your fuel system when you tune them anyway. So we're gonna finish this project, this huge project we've been working on, make sure we have no loose ends, and then we'll move on to the fuel system. We've only got about a month before our business starts jumping back off. We've kind of just been holding on with one truck and working on this as many days as we can, because the Dodge currently has some module problems. The brakes are like locking up in the front every once in a while. What's that part called? What was that?
Proportionate valve.
Proportionate valve. Basically the proportionate valve of the Dodge. Proportionate valve of the Dodge is messing up. So got to get that straight. But this is the bit. This is what tows our gooseneck. This is what hauls all our heavy loads. We're gonna get this thing right. We're gonna get ready and get it on the road. So I will check back in probably 2 or 3 days now, waiting on some more parts when we button this thing up, and by then we'll have the tuner, and that'll be for first startup. Notice anything different? Yeah. So jump the gun a little bit. This is super simple, y'all. One bolt up in the frame there, holds it in. You got 4 bolts on each bracket with a bushing in between it to keep it from rattling. We don't have it super tight right now, but Diggy D is getting ready to drill the first hole right there in the gas tank. We got us a fish tank to catch all our fuel. I think that's more than efficient. Didn't get it on film yesterday, but I did get this all buttoned up, nice and tight. I think this is a bracket hole, y'all. I think this is made to bracket this on or something. But anyway, I'm gonna figure that out. Got this on pretty good. Do I think it's gonna hold 30 pounds of boost? I don't know, but we're gonna find out. It's an awkward angle. It doesn't look tight, but it is very tight. It was hard just to get this around the pipe alone, much less once we tightened it. So hopefully it does hold, but we will see. Dan's Diesel Performance said that this oil line is run to the wrong side of the block. Now I don't know what is so much more efficient from going to the driver's side, but we're gonna do it because that's what they said. So I'm about to make sure all our wires are plugged in up here, double, triple, quadruple check everything. We left some stuff tucked down here that we shouldn't have, but it looks nicer. It's just like this AC line's super tight. There's barely any room. But anyway, I'm gonna get all that done, get this PCV hooked back up. Broke some clips and stuff on like this, but that's no big deal. But I think we've got most everything done. We should have 4 plugs, and then this was like a power wire that went to the EGR. And what I did was just take a big piece of rubber hose, slide it over the top of the end, electrical taped it to death, and we should never have to worry about that now. So I'm gonna get this intake put in, intake horn and the intake put in, make sure it's all gonna fit past this because it's really tight right here. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. We're getting it done. It's like a nervous, exciting, I don't know what's gonna go, nothing can go wrong, but yeah, it's one of those feelings. Drilling into a gas tank, it's always fun. But so far that Fas system seems really simple. Wire to the battery on each side. Oops, speaking of that, I need to get this put on the charger. Wire to each side of the battery, and one plug-in that goes in here, and then one plug-in that goes onto the fuel pump. It seems super simple. So I'll keep you posted on that. But I did go with the dry sump, so that's why we're drilling into the tank and not dropping the tank. And went and got this. This is a 3.5 inch hole bit, but it actually called for a 3 3/4. So we're gonna go 3.5, then we're gonna use the Dremel and just smooth up the edges to get all the burrs off, and just make it a 3 3/4 basically. So working with what we got. Got a pile of parts that aren't going back on the truck, which is beautiful. I mean, that's a bunch of junk out the way. Our Easy Link's supposed to be here tomorrow, so it'll be raining again, but hopefully there's some fuel right there. Hopefully we'll be tuning this thing tomorrow, y'all. I'm so excited, nervous. Like I said, it's just It's a mix of emotions. But let this fuel drain, get some in-tank horns put on, and I'll check back in. They call me Big Dude. Alright, just had to, you know, let y'all know that this stuff just don't go smooth. Y'all see that coolant pipe's back off? We've been up here cussing. We ran our wires under the coolant pipe. Had to move those out of the way. We thought that was the problem, but it's still hitting something. So we can't get the horn on the turbo right now. But the wires definitely needed to come out. I had already said that. So we're just working backwards a little bit, guys. And you know, it's just a pain in the neck getting this stuff back off. We are still filling up some diesel over here. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Looking good though. This is gonna be easy. I know this is gonna be easy. We fought our fight up here, so everything has to go easy back here. But we're ready to go back together as soon as we finish fighting this horn. Just wanted to give y'all a little check-in on the aggravation we're dealing with and Duke's supervising. All right, y'all. We're looking like a truck again. So obviously I have 3 plugs that aren't plugged in from EGR, grid heater, all that good stuff. So we don't have to worry about that. Oil feed line hooked up, vane sensor hooked up. I gotta get these plugs plugged back in. I just unplugged those while I was messing over here. Got our coolant lines hooked up, wire bridge and everything's tight. Pretty sure that boost pipe's gonna stay. It's nice and tight. Boost pipe's down here hooked back up. This has been a job and it's not over yet. Yeah, we gotta start this puppy up, make sure we ain't got no problems. That's the scary part. Well, everything hold boost. I just filled up. We got 4 gallons of, well, 2 gallons of water, 2 gallons of coolant in it so far. So should be pretty full. Told y'all I had to be sealing that hose, so it's gonna be sealing it there. We've got this sliding on. This slides on like a glove now, just like OE. So I did have to take a little bit of that wall out of that aftermarket boost pipe. This is gonna be a little worrisome, but this 3-inch pipe up here is basically inside this. So hopefully it just flows and I don't have any issues, but we'll see, because this is really, I know this looks like it's gapped out, but it's not. The lip's up here. So we got the band past the lip. We'll see. Obviously, exhaust side's been done, up pipe and everything. Still draining fuel over there. Y'all can see that. Almost got our fish tank full. And then we will get to boogieing on this. So, anyway, engine bay's almost done. Working on fuel system. Tuning coming tomorrow. Be right back. Guys, I can't even make this up, boys. We run a couple wires, you know, got a couple wires run up to the fuse box and stuff from the fuel pump. Got it all nice and tucked, got my zip ties. Wire all the way back here. I'm like, boom. Well, we ain't draining diesel fuel fast enough. We done filled up the whole damn tank. So I'm like, I'm gonna get some saran wrap. Wrap her up, you know, protect my diesel fuel. I dropped the whole roll of saran wrap in diesel fuel. Full, all diesel fuel. So I guess I filled this tank up before I came home. Typical me. Got to ride on a full tank. Bit me in the tailbone. Anyway, I just had to show y'all this. It's always something when you're messing with this. Engine bay's basically together. Wiring. Just got to put these to the terminals. That's gonna be our power. Boom. Got to pull this 15 right here on ignition and plug this in. This is our little ignition jumper fuse, and plug the relay in. So, but we're gonna get everything plugged in, but we're not gonna hook it to the battery until after we do tuning tomorrow. So anyway, we're gonna get this rim cleaned off, all the diesel fuel cleaned off this rim, wait for this tank to finally drain and get to plumbing. Hey, we're under here. Got her unhooked. This fuel line here. I think this is the return. Anyway, this is what the instructions said. Unhook this one, but it comes with this nice little plug You pop it right in there.
Right there, bro.
Move that out the way.
That should be the feed to the truck.
The feed to the truck?
Yep.
The main feed?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where we about to run our new line off the pump.
Off the sump to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to the pump, then to the sump.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're a little decently under here. It's dripping on my GoPro. But got that unhooked. I thought that was pretty neat. Fast has come with a way just to plug your OE lines and be done with it. Just move it out of the way. I'll probably zip tie it back to these. I'll zip tie it back to these once I run my new line. So pretty cool. Let's get it. Da-da. 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 Fuel system stuff. Da-da. Got this thing in. Da-da. Running some lines. Da-da. Da-da. Let's see if I can get y'all up in here for some of this action here. Bam. Bam. All right. Instant fall. You know what I got this thing for though? Here we go. Bye. Got a little bit of fuel line action going on here, boys. Get this thing in these here clamps. That way it's nice and OE style. Slide this home. Clip a dip. Clipped right in. Alright, you got plenty of hose, diggity. Got that all clipped in. Got it back in its factory spot. Factory clamp. Just chilling. I'm gonna throw a zip tie on here. Because I can. Just make sure he don't go nowhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom. New line run over. This is our existing line capped off. Just got them zip tied down kind of lightly right here. Got our sump plugged in, and we gonna keep making hoses. So gotta run one more return here, and then one more feed here. That's the main feed that feeds the actual truck. It goes to the front. I've already got the line tucked with the main harness. It's kind of zip tied. I haven't clipped them or nothing. They're kind of loosely zip tied right now, but got all the power wires ran down this thing. And boy, we will have a fast fuel system on this thing shortly. Da-da. 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 Fuel system stuff. Da-da. Got this thing in. Da-da. Running some lines. Da-da. Da-da. Let's see if I can get y'all up in here for some of this action here. Bam. Bam. All right. Instant fall. You know what I got this thing for though? Here we go. Bye. Got a little bit of fuel line action going on here, boys. Get this thing in these here clamps. That way it's nice and OE style. this home. Clip a dip. Clipped right in. Alright, you got plenty of hose, diggity. Got that all clipped in. Got it back in its factory spot. Factory clamp. Just chilling. I'm gonna throw a zip tie on here. Because I can. Just make sure he don't go nowhere. Bada bing, bada boom. Boom. New line run over. This is our exhaust existing line capped off. Just got them zip tied down kind of lightly right here. Got our sump plugged in, and we're gonna keep making hoses. So gotta run one more return here, and then one more feed here. That's the main feed that feeds the actual truck. It goes to the front. I've already got the line tucked with the main harness. It's kind of zip tied. I haven't clipped them or nothing. They're kind of loosely zip tied right now, but got all the power wires ran down this thing. And boy, we will have a fast fuel system on this thing shortly. Alrighty, if you're ever wondering, don't mind our wildness here. That was me trying to control the drill. Daniel did it. But that's your thickness of your gas tank. Pretty thick, pretty nicely lined. Probably should use a stronger drill, but anyway. But boom, already full of diesel fuel, water separator. I gotta get up in here and zip tie some more wires up. Just the stuff that's up in there. Tighten up a couple zip ties on that. But she is in about 3 gallons of fuel in her. Ain't got no drippage. Wires around up here. We have none of this hooked up yet. Just kind of sitting there. But like I said, that's after tuning. We got to plug the main ones back in. As you can see, this little hole right there on the intake, we have to find a way to plug that. We were testing bolts, and Diggy D dropped one in there. It wouldn't be us if we didn't.
I ain't dropped it in the pipe, I dropped it in the valley.
Yeah, he's fishing for it in there somewhere. But yeah, well, I think we're buttoned up. I'm gonna get some more brake cleaner and clean this thing up a little bit. We're gonna get that bolt put in. Just kind of get everything tidied up here, double, triple check some torque. Obviously keep an eye on that, make sure we're not dripping. But boys, this has been some work. Look at that pile. That's a pile of parts that didn't go back on the truck. Heat shields we didn't reuse. Heat shields. We got our up pipe deleted because of this. Y bridge with the double gasket system, just known to fail. So I went with the aftermarket bolt-in style Y bridge, cheap one from Speed Tuning Lab. Butterfly valve deleted. Water pump, I don't think it needed to be replaced, but we replaced it anyway. So water pump was replaced. Downpipe obviously replaced. That's gonna make a big difference. The full EGR. This was actually what made us find that we had such a problem, was the transline. That was the original thing to fix. Got him done. Remote oil gone now. Well, we have a remote oil line now, so this oil line is gone now. I was actually supposed to put this back in the valley. Probably should have done that. Didn't do it. But this was supposed to go in the valley under the turbo as like a heat shield for the motor. Yep, it's done now. So I know everybody deletes these heat shields. I'm not worried about that one. That one I'm a little worried about, that I did not put it back in. But everybody was like, oh, I'll get rid of all these heat shields. So I got rid of all the heat shields. Now they're all gone. All of them. But I'm pretty excited. It's all coming together. It looks like an engine bay again, except for a couple wires out of place. We've got about 4 gallons of coolant in this puppy. We are ready for the first startup. I'm about to go, I'm gonna clean up my mess a little bit. We're gonna check on everything. I'm gonna get a battery charger on each of these batteries, make sure they're fully charged, and then we're gonna put them on a float charger when we start doing the tuning. We found a lot of problems that we didn't know we had, and we fixed a lot of problems that we knew we had. So we should be ahead of the game. But I'm gonna get back plugging away, cleaning up. Probably check back in tomorrow when we start hooking up to the tuner. It's supposed to be raining again tomorrow. We haven't got much of a break, y'all, but rain or shine, we're gonna be out here tuning this puppy.